vlog family. Happy New Year's Eve. Dan and I really aren't doing much for New Year's Eve. We're staying home. Dan, I've convinced to stay up with me. Whether he'll actually be able to stay awake or not is to be determined, but we are cooking a whole turkey, so that's, I guess, kind of doing something. Dan had gotten it a couple weeks ago and wanted to have turkey, and this was after Thanksgiving because we didn't cook any Thanksgiving turkey. Other people did, and we didn't want to cook anything for Christmas, so we're like, oh, we'll just have it on New Year's Eve, that'll be fine. So I'm cooking it, and it looks amazing. It's just taking longer to cook than I initially planned because it is really big, and also it had been in the fridge for several days thawing, but I think I needed to have taken it out an extra day early, and to have put it in the fridge to thaw an extra day. And I think we should have rotated it while it was in the fridge every day, because parts of it were thawed, but other parts of it were still they still had ice on them. So that's just making it take longer to cook, but it's cooking at a slow enough temperature. I'm not worried about it at all. It's just gonna take a little longer to cook. And I've been basting it, so I'm not worried about it being dry or anything like that. I've cooked a handful of whole turkeys, so I'm not concerned about it coming out awful or whatever. But that is the plan. Also, one of the methods I have to help keep Dan awake is we're eating so late, so whatever, is I've had the Rescuers song stuck in my head for over a week now, and it's the movie The Rescuers with the little mice, Bernard and Bianca. And I've had the RESCUE, Rescue Aid Society, in my head for over a week. So I think I'm gonna grab that movie and we're gonna watch it after supper, and that'll be a good way to help get us to midnight. And then we're gonna go to bed. So that's a plan. We also have potatoes that are hanging out here marinating that we'll throw in the oven after the turkey is done, because they're only gonna take 20 minutes. And then we have salad, and yeah, that's our supper for tonight. And then we're gonna do turkey leftovers for the next few days and incorporate it in different meals. So that's that plan. That's about it. We just demolished supper. It's 10 minutes to 9 now. But I'm so proud of how juicy this turkey is. I mean, every time I've cooked turkey, it's never been dry, but I feel like this is the juiciest it has ever been. I mean, oh, if you don't cut up meat, don't look, I guess. It's just so juicy, just ripping apart. It's so good. That's all I wanted to share. Just wanted to capture this moment because I'm proud of it. Happy New Year! It's actually the 2nd right now, but it's the new year. So Happy New Year! After the clip you just saw of me singing to the Rescuers song, which the whole movie was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, 10 out of 10 recommend you go see it because I love that movie so much. But after that, Dan and I watched American Ninja Warrior until midnight. Well, I watched it. Dan read a book and tried very hard to stay awake. And then at midnight, I made him come over and give me a kiss. And then by 12:03, he was in bed. So I was up until probably 1 o'clock, maybe? 12:45, 1. But I'm a night owl, so the mention of sleep after it's dark outside gives me a second wind. So staying up that late is no problem for me, which I really should adjust to that because I need to get better with a better sleep schedule. But anyway, I spent most of my yesterday working on this puzzle. I don't actually know if I've said that we've started this one yet. We had the solar system puzzle that we were working on, and that took 2 days to finish, and that was really cool. Dan helped me a lot with that one. This one is the German castle that we're working on, And I've worked on this one now for like 3 days. This is what I have so far with it, which you can't really see because of the glare of the light, but there I have the sky done. I have basically, there you go, I have basically the whole castle done. And then there's just tree and mountain and all of the bits that I haven't gotten done yet. So that's what I'm going to be tackling next. I don't know if I'm going to work on any of it today or not. I want to do some video prep stuff. I just had my first video of 2020 go live yesterday. That was my 2020 reading list and how I'm learning to read. I'm really happy with how it came out. I really, I'm wanting to do better. So I'm thinking, I've already started one of the Sue Grafton books that I talked about in that video, and I'm wanting to start a second book. I'm thinking about The Hunchback of Notre Dame, because I know that one's gonna take a while, so to like get it started. If you haven't seen that, it will be in the corner right there, and if you click the link in the description box below this video, there will also be links for everything there. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, checkup, and kind of a follow-up from the previous doctor's appointment that I had, so that I'm hoping will all go well, hoping that it'll be all good news and good stuff. So I have to do that tomorrow. We're making chicken pot pie for dinner tonight, but I'm using some of the leftover turkey that we had instead of chicken, so I'll be working on that tonight. We went to thrift stores yesterday, and I was looking online, and we have a Salvation Army, a Goodwill, and then another thrift store called Lily Pads here that helps support the homeless shelter that my mom works at. And so I looked online at all three of them to see what their New Year's hours were, and Lily Pads and Goodwill both said they were open today, and Salvation Army said that they were closed all day yesterday. And I was like, okay. So I told Dan, I was like, oh, Dan, why don't we, because he had suggested that we get out and kind of walk around and stretch our legs some. And I'm like, oh, cool. Why don't we go thrift shopping? And he was like, okay, yeah, I'm game. So we go to Lily Pads first because they closed earlier according to online. And I was like, and plus I like supporting Lily Pads a lot. And so we go there and they're closed. And I'm like, okay. They failed to advertise this on their Facebook page. So okay, we'll go to Goodwill. It's just right there. We get to Goodwill. They're closed. And I'm like, what the heck? So then we ended up going to Hobby Lobby and wandering around. Then we go to Target and we wander around a little bit. Hobby Lobby has a massive sale on fabrics right now. So I'm going to be stocking up on different fabrics because it's 40% off all fabrics right now. But then, as a joke, Dan was like, oh, well, why don't we go drive by Salvation Army and see if they're open because online said it was closed. And I was like, haha, let's do it. That'd be funny. We go by. They're busy and they're open. And I'm like, what the heck? They were the ones that said they were closed and the other two said they were open. The internet was trolling me yesterday. It was not okay. I was so annoyed. So we went to Salvation Army. It ended up being a really good shopping adventure. We got a lot of stuff. They had all clothes were 50% off sale, and everything with a yellow tag was 50% off as well. So I was able to find some maternity clothes. So I found maternity jeans that fit me, and I found this cute purple, like long maternity top that fit me. And they both ended up being 50% off. Dan found a Rocky VHS. I found a Hufflepuff tie, which I don't wear ties, but I'm gonna make a Hufflepuff stuffed animal and give it this tie. I'll have a little Hufflepuff bear or something. And then I found this entire bag of like pillowcases and different fabrics, and I love shopping for fabric at thrift stores because you can get so much fabric for so cheap. So all of these pillowcases were like $1 a piece. And half of them had yellow tags, so we got 50% off of like half of them. And then we found this really cute Packers shirt, which if I really wanted to, I could wear it, but we're actually collecting Packers clothing to eventually make a Packers collage quilt. So whenever we're at thrift stores and we see like cool, unique Packers things, we will pick them up because there's not that many different designs. So like if I see a pattern in the fabric section that has Packers on it, I'll pick it up because just patterned fabric is really good filler space. And something like this this is not your typical sold Packers thing. So I thought that was really cool because it's a heart. And I'm like, oh, that's really unique. So that'll be a really cool square. I think in all of the clothes that we've collected so far, I think we only have one yellow shirt. Everything else is like the green with the yellow logo. So this is so we only have one yellow with like a green or black logo on it. So we're just slowly collecting that, and eventually I'll get started on that quilt. But we have a lot to get still before I really commit to that. Although I could start it now and just kind of see what size I would have. But anyway, so we got that. We got all of these really cool fabrics and patterns. And then I really like getting, there you go, baby blankets like this as well, because these are two totally different fabrics on each side. So like this is a really soft gray and white polka dot, and then this is like this cool like wool imitation looking, like it looks like I could try to make a baby sheep or something out of that, and that would be perfect. So those I really like picking up because that I think was like $3, and I'm gonna get a ton of fabric out of it and be able to make at least 2 stuffed animals out of that, which I'm very excited about. I need to work on the budget for this month and switch over the meal plan because I haven't done that yet and I got bills to pay. So I'm gonna stop recording and pay bills. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog there. I hope you guys had a fantastic New Year's. The rest of my week was pretty relaxed. My nephew Connor came over and spent a couple nights here, so we hung out with him. Him and Mom went and did stuff. We went out and we had dinner with Holly and Alpha and baby Henry, so I got to play with him for a while. And yeah, it was a really relaxed week. So I didn't really film anything because I was just kind of relaxing, spending time with family, editing, doing all that good stuff. But I hope you guys have had a great week, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Actually, I got to the end of this week and totally forgot to edit my vlog. So I'm just gonna combine the week you just watched with the following week because I didn't edit it for this week. So enjoy that, and here's another week worth of vlog. Hello, vlog family! It is Monday right now. Dan and I are currently packing because we're going on an impromptu trip to Indiana for a day, or 2 technically. Flo, Dan's mom, texted me Saturday night and said, hey, Steve and Grace, your family from Indiana, are coming up to visit and they'll be here Monday and Tuesday. If you guys can come and visit, that'd be great. And I thought that's really short notice, but we really want to do that. So we looked at Dan's schedule and he worked from 9 to 3 today and from 6 to like 2 tomorrow. So we thought, okay, that's really short notice. We don't know if he's going to be able to, he can't just call in because that's a really jerk move to make, and neither of us are like that, so we knew he wasn't going to just wait until Tuesday morning or something and call out. So we thought, okay, if he can get off on Tuesday, if he can find a way to see if one of his coworkers can either pick up his shift or like they can switch shifts or something, then we can leave after he gets off of work today, get to Indiana tonight, and then spend the night there, and then have all day Tuesday with family, which is going to be great. And that's what happened. He sent out his work at Aldi. They have this like app that they all use for text messaging, and they're all in one group. So if somebody needs to send something to like ask for a day off or to see if somebody can switch shifts, they can just send it there and it goes to everybody, all of the employees, which works really, really well, especially then if you need to get a hold of somebody, then whoever has their number can just give it to you. It's really useful. So he sent a message out on that asking if anybody could cover his shift tomorrow, Tuesday. And I don't know if he explained the situation or what, but 2 of his coworkers were like, yeah, we can split it. So one coworker will take the first half of the shift, the second coworker will take the second half. So that worked out fantastically. So Dan and I are currently packing. Dan's still at work. He gets off at 3. But I am currently packing and keep slapping everything. So when he gets home, he can change, eat, and we can head out because it's like, I think a 3-hour drive, plus there's an hour time change. So we're not going to get there until like 7:30 or so tonight, which is gonna be kind of sad because we're not gonna have a lot of time to see family, but we're gonna have all day tomorrow to spend with them, which is gonna be super duper. So that's what I'm working on right now, is packing for that. I'm wearing maternity pants right now. Like, you can't actually, like, I'm gonna show you the mirror, but like, look, you can see I don't really have much at all of a bump, which, hold on, let me see if I can get a decent angle here so you can, there you go. Look at that little bump right there. So I have a little tiny bump, not much of one. And my regular jeans that I wear still fit. It's not like they don't fit me right now. I can still button them and everything and move and they're fine. It's just they are starting to get a little tight, so they're not the most comfortable, especially when I sit down. So being in a car for 3 hours, I don't want to be uncomfortable. So I'm wearing maternity pants. So they're just like stretchy like that. So they have this big stretchy bit attached to them. But yeah, and these are super comfortable because, again, they're very stretchy. Also, I, a couple days ago, experimented with making a smaller sized version of that great big teddy bear that I made. So this, for all of you who don't know, this is the giant teddy bear that I've made. Hello, there you go. And I mean, when I'm holding it, it's a rather large teddy bear. And this is the very first one I ever made of this pattern. This is my teddy bear that I keep just to be like, this is how big this size will be. But I wanted to have another teddy bear size that is smaller. So I made this guy. And look at how little he is, and he's so cute. So I have this one, and it's much smaller. There's a few little things that I did differently on it because I was in a rush to make it to see if I liked the size. So like, obviously there's no eyes, there's no nose. I did do the two-tone pattern. Again, I just use old sheets when I'm practicing stuffed animals because I'm not going to use the fabric that I like, because if I mess up because I don't know how to do something, then I'm going to be mad at myself for wasting good fabric. So I just use old bed sheets that I have. That's why the patterns that are like the accent patterns aren't exactly the most matchy, which is okay. But I'm really happy with this size. I need to just go slower when I do the feet, and I didn't like, there's a big hole in his neck right there because that's where I didn't finish sewing it up. But I don't really plan on keeping him, so I didn't finish sewing up the neck because I'm going to just take all that stuffing out and use it for other projects. But what I'm doing now is pulling out my laminator, and I have my laminating sheets over here, and this is the pattern. It's on How Joyful Bear. And that's the pattern that I got, and then I just printed it off at 75% instead of 100%, which is the big bear. Side by side, this is the size difference. Side by side, in case you were curious. So that's 100%. If you print off the pattern, that's 75%. So I'm really happy with the 75% one. So I'm going to go through and actually laminate the pattern. So when I go to make it in the future, I'm not worried about ripping paper or the paper getting bent and not getting appropriate sizes that I want. All right, now I am really going to end the vlog there. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you have had a good week, and I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.